Hey guys, welcome to podcast number 2, joined by the one and only Ashe. So what I want to get into right now is I want to talk about why it is so cold. So this morning it was 6 degrees, so it was a very cold morning. Not that great, and I was wearing 4 layers on myself. So I got a shirt, I'm wearing a sweater, I'm wearing my light jacket, and also I had my big jacket on when I was outside. So yeah, today it was really freezing and I absolutely hated it, and it was crap. And it's been a crap day in terms of weather because it's just cold. I mean, I love the cold, I love the rain, it's just I don't want to get a cold and get sick and get corona, so no one does, so yeah. So I'm not going to be too negative on this podcast, but so I mentioned on the first podcast that I was going to do some levers talk. So now I'm going to talk about levers, which was the most epic thing in my life, and it was in my prime. So after my graduation, the day after I went to levers, so I knew a few people from my school were going to the Scripture Union camp. So it was a 16-hour bus trip way up north to Ningaloo Reef, which is just past Exmouth. So yeah, it was an amazing experience, and I know a few people that I met from levers that I still talk to, and some of my close mates that I keep in touch with. So yeah, the first day, I had my jeans on, I had a jumper, and because it was cold back in Perth. And yeah, got on the bus, and it was a night trip on the bus, and I sat next to a guy called Trent, and we had some similar stuff that we were talking about, and we were talking about footy and stuff on the way there. And it was kind of hard on the way up because it felt like a forever trip. You're like sleeping, and the next minute you have to wake up because there's a stop at Jurien Bay, and stopping at they have to pick up a few people at Gelton, and then we stopped over at Carnarvon just for some breakfast and stuff. But on the bus, and we haven't brushed our teeth that day, so it's smelly breath. Got off the bus, and it was so hot, and the bus that I was on had no aircon, so it was hot as fuck, and it was so bad. But the bus drivers were absolute legends. So yeah, after that, got to Exmouth, had to stop over, had ice cream and all that. Got to the camp and had some lunch. I was sweating like a bastard. And yeah, it was really good. The tents were already set up, so we just had to put our sleeping bags and luggage and stuff like that down. And perfect weather, always warm. And if it only rained for a night or something, but most of the clothes got dried and that. So shout out to Jacob, Cullum, Mia Porter, Trent, Layla, David, absolute legends, Lachlan. So it was an amazing trip, and I did a lot of things while I was there. Did some sandboarding, I did a lot of snorkeling, which was amazing. I saw turtles for the first time in my life, and that was really good. Absolutely loved the trip. Absolutely missed all my friends down there. Up there. And then yeah, met a few of the Gelton people, shout out to Demi, shout out to Xavier, Zeph Z or something like that. Absolute legends. And there was like a talent quest that I did, and I was singing in it, which was great, and I was very proud of myself and got a good score. And because the bus drivers voted, and I got a good score, and I was pretty happy with myself. And that was like the day before we had to leave, and then after that, leaving was really sad. It was really sad actually. Yeah, leaving on the bus, and we got on the bus, and it was a good trip back because I mostly slept and stuff. Stopped in Carnarvon for dinner, and then I think So afterwards, after Carnarvon, slept most of the way, and then got to Perth. That was good. Got to Perth around like 7-ish, 7:30. Had breakfast in the morning, but it was great. It was great to go there, and I learnt some real life experiences, and they're all good and stuff. And then later that month we had a reunion thing down at City Beach. Lovely day for it. Had a couple of swims. And then afterwards we had our first lockdown, which was pretty wasn't bad, but 5 days in lockdown, just got to do what you got to do. There was the bushfires, which were pretty bad, and but Leavers was amazing. I'd say it was one of the best things that I've ever done, really. That's just my journal. I'm gonna mention. So I got a voice message, but I can't do the voice message on here because I'm filming on my phone. But I can say what the question was. So shout out to Lani from TAFE. So she said, "What is your favourite musical and why?" Well, one of my favourite musicals that I've seen is probably the Lion King musical. That was a really good musical to see. Really good story, great actors, and everything like that. And then performing wise, it's definitely going to be Wicked. The one I performed in Year 11. Me playing a guard, me having to be serious. I wish I got to play in more musicals. Because I am quite talented. Not trying to be selfish, but I'm quite a talented actor, singer. So if any podcast is interested, hit me up, guys. That's probably my favourite musical I've seen is probably The Lion King. Just wait a second. There was just a bit of a interruption there, but don't worry about it. This podcast is very raw. Afterwards, after Wicked was pretty emotional as well. Everyone was crying on the last show, so thanks for sending that question in. I got some other questions. So there's 3 questions that's been sent in. So shout out to Gracie that sent those questions. So the first one is, how long have you been singing for? So I've been singing since year 4. So I would have been done singing for about 9 years now, proper singing for 9 years. I just want to keep on going. Want to find some singing transition by the end of this year, get some singing done and all that, and perform live in front of hundreds of thousands of people, because I love people, and this is why I'm doing my podcast, so that people can feel good about themselves, and they can listen to some advice from Ashe boy. So the next question Gracie said is, what's your favourite colour and why? Pretty basic question, but you got to say it. So my favourite colour, I reckon my favourite colour is dark blue. it used to be red, but I realised I don't really wear like too much red clothing. I'm more of a blue guy, but I like the dark blue. So the scarf that I have, that's probably, you know, one of my favourite colours. Like that dark blue, like the Geelong Cats blue. It's just a great colour, and you know, I have, you know, blue sheets and blue pillowcases and all that. So I love blue. It's a great colour when it's blue skies and during the day it's bloody great. And you got to love the colour blue. And green sucks, by the way. Green sucks. Overrated. And I hate purple. Don't get me started on purple. I don't have purple clothing, so you know, no hate on the Dockers fans, but I hate purple. So the next question Gracie sent in was my journey through sexuality. Well, let me tell you this. So probably started getting into girls when I was in year 5. Primary school, had this crush on this French girl that came over for a bit, and then she left, which was really sad. And then I had a crush on another girl, but all the boys were trying to get on her. There was like 4 to 5 guys trying to get on her. So that wasn't going to happen. Stayed friends with her though. And then year 8, I started getting into like Asian girls. Yeah, Asian girls. And then I drifted apart from the Asian girls. And then year 10 was tough because my dad passed away. So, you know, I wasn't really looking for a girlfriend at that time. And then year 11, I got into the Melbourne girls. Melbourne girls are kind of like my type because, you know, they love talking about the footy. They love some of my stuff that I love talking about. And I want to move there when I get enough money and, you know, when I'm a bit sustainable, have a good job. Because I got a lot of close friends there, and I've got a best friend over there. Shout out to Romy. She's a legend. Love her to bits. And yeah, I just, you know, there's a lot of, like, I can go to the footy there cheaper, and there's just a lot of opportunity for me to, like, broaden my horizons when it comes to, like, doing my podcast over there. It would get a lot of views if I did it over in Melbourne. And yeah, like, Melbourne girls are definitely my type. There's a couple of girls I have a crush on. So I'm not going to name them, but absolute gorgeous people. So I just, you know, want to slide into those DMs. You just got to do what you got to do. Slide into those DMs and you'll succeed in life. So thank you, Gracie, for sending those questions in. Another friend of the podcast, Paddy, sent in a question through Instagram, and he said, what is the best life lessons? So for me, I'll do 10 life lessons, or maybe 12 or 13. Okay, 13 life lessons, because I really want to get to 50 minutes. So 13 life lessons. 1, so this is to do with like your education and stuff. Do not do ATAR. ATAR is the biggest waste of your time, and it makes year 11 and 12 the hardest years in your life, and you're just going to get burn-offs every day. So if you want to do ATAR, do it. If you can do it through, like, if you can do it like mental health, you know, like, it's hard. So don't do ATAR. Like, if you want to be a doctor or vet, lawyer, teacher, especially English teachers, any high profile job, do ATAR. But if you're not doing those jobs, do not do ATAR. It's a waste of time. Do general and certificate courses, because then it will lead you to different pathways, and you can decide if you don't want to do uni or not. Uni is also a waste of time, and that's going to be part of the first life lesson. Uni is a waste of time, and you're going to be in debt. Like, who wants to be in debt when they're like 19 or 20 years old? Like, no one wants to be in debt. So don't do uni, go to TAFE, or just get a job, you know, work. So that's what I recommend to people, because ATAR is a waste of time. VCE sucks. Wade sucks, and Zach sucks. So, fuck ATAR. 2, hang around with people that have similar interests to you, and don't talk to people that don't treat you with respect. So for me, started off with a small group of friends from my primary school when I went into high school, and then I moved to a different group, Mount Hawthorn Boys. Shout out to Evan and Harry Bragg, absolute legends. Moved to that group, and they were great lads and stuff. I didn't really see them on weekends. Sometimes I did, for parties, but it's because I saw them 5 days a week. You get a bit sick of them. So hang out with friends that care for you. Then Evan and Harry, and they cared. There was just that one guy that was a bit off, but I won't talk about him. Number 3, watch the footy. If you're into AFL, you're my bro, man. You're like my best friend, my close friend. You're my everything. If you watch the footy, you're on my level. If you don't, that's okay. But you got to get into it. I would get you into the footy. Because I'm going to be doing a segment about footy later, about the results and injuries and just the stats and stuff. So I'm going to be talking about that on the next segment. But watch the footy. It's honestly the best game. And I've been to the MCG before, and it was one of the best life experiences that I've ever had in my life. I was in the front row, centre bounce square. It was bloody amazing. I want to go back to Melbourne. I love Melbourne girls. Number 4, it's okay to have your L's when you're 19. There's no rush getting your car. And I wanted to get my car last year, but COVID sort of changed my perspective, and I just waited it out. And because I have autism, so it takes a little bit longer to pass. But I got a test mid-July, so hopefully I pass and I get my P's by mid-July, because I want to be driving around soon and having my own car. I can socialise a bit more. I can pick up friends. I can get the girls. I'm gonna hit the clubs, hit the pooling booths, go out for dinners. Pick up the girls was the best thing. My dad was a bit of a player. I'm a bit of a player, but single and ready to mingle. That's what I'm gonna say. Number 5, to get in with a girl or guy, whatever your preference is, or they, you gotta have a hobby. If you don't have a hobby, then no one's gonna want you to be there for them. If you got a hobby, people are gonna love you, no matter what. If you have similar hobbies and you mix well together, then go for it. Just bang, just do it, man. Go for it. You gotta have that hobby. For me, it's singing, acting, and doing podcasts and talking about footy. They're my hobbies. Number 6, and Jomo Dylan also talked about this. Triple J is not a personality trait, and it's not a hobby. Triple J is one of the most woke things that I've ever heard of, and all they talk about is, oh my God, is Peter Dutton a vibe? Oh my God, I think Scott Morrison is not vibey enough. Oh my God, I think this song is so vibey. Oh my God, I hate Sticky Fingers. If you say you hate Sticky Fingers, fuck you. Australia Street and Carers for Your Soul are some of the best Australian songs in a millennium. So Triple J can get fucked. So number 7. So I've said number 6, so number 7. Don't move away from your home. Stay until you're at least 22. As long as you have good parents and you've got a great family and you love your brothers and sisters, but not too much. Tasmania can do that business, bloody hell, the Tasmanians are all about that incest. And step cousins. Don't put step in front. It's a bit awkward. But if you love your family, then you're gonna do well in life. And if they love you and respect you and care for you, then you're gonna make the right decisions in life, and you're gonna be slaying life itself. Number 8, follow your passions and don't let anyone tell you what you want to do. That's what I noticed in high school. Like, you get pressured into doing ATAR, which is so shit, and you should just be doing general inserts anyway. Because ATAR is a waste of time, and that's what I just mentioned in the life lessons for the first one. Follow your passion. Like, do what you want to do, and don't make people tell you what to do. If your parents saying you got to be a lawyer, well, fuck them. You do what you want to do, baby, and you're gonna do great. Number 9, you got to have good hygiene. Okay, you got to have your showers. You got to brush your teeth every day, because that's when you smell the nicest, and all the girls are going to be lining up that door wanting you to get kissed. And you're going to slay the nightclubs, you're going to slay going out, you're going to slay every day. If you don't have a shower and you don't brush your teeth, well, you might as well just go for Collingwood and have some bing-tangs and go to Bali or something like that. Because honestly, not having good hygiene is shit, and it's not good for yourself and anyone else. Everyone will hate you for it. Number 10, gotta have a good smile. Yeah, good smile. If you have a good smile in life, then people are gonna be like, hey, they're gonna hit you up in the comment section. So yeah, having a good smile is great. Makes people feel happy, and people will love you for who you are. Number 11, this is more like a female trait that a lot of girls love this, but having plants and night lamps in your home, great. It just brings this like atmosphere into the house, and it makes you feel like you're welcome, and it's really homely, and it's like one of the best things that you can do, really, in terms of like, what's it called? The IKEA vibes of housing. Number 12, this is the second last life lesson. Number 12, make sure you get a good night's sleep. If you don't get a good night's sleep, it's going to affect you mentally, and you're going to feel crap. So getting like at least 8 to 10 hours sleep, you're going to have a great day no matter what. 7 hours is the bare minimum. Because if you have 5 hours, you need 2 more. Like, if you don't get enough sleep, then you need to get more sleep. Because if you have less sleep, then that means you're not going to feel good the next day, and you're going to feel like a zombie walking around. And you don't want to be a zombie walking around. And last one, number 13, please do your chores. I know chores suck. And when you're 13, 14, you're like, why am I doing chores? I don't want to do chores. But the thing is, mate, got to do them, because when you move in at home, you got to do those things. So what I do is, when I do my chores, I call them common sense tasks. As soon as I say common sense tasks, it really helps me. It really helps me do those chores, and makes me feel good doing them. It's a bit of a coping mechanism. Some people use it as a maladaptive coping mechanism, which is not good. But yeah, so those are the 13 life lessons of life itself, and you should be doing it. So right now, I'm going to be doing the Ashe segment, which is the awesome moment, shit moment, and hot and spicy moment of the week. So I'm going to talk about the awesome moment of this week. Well, definitely because Geelong won. They beat Gold Coast by 35 points. was a bloody good game, and it was bad to see that Mitch Duncan got concussed. Hopefully the guy for it didn't get suspended. I don't want him to get suspended because, but we had a good win and we're third on the ladder, and we're going to hopefully make it into the grand final, which will be really good. Shit moment. Well, pretty much the weather today was the shit moment, which I mentioned at the start of the potty. Jesus, it was so cold. I love the cold, but being in the cold for too long, geez, you gotta really pull it through. And then my hot and spicy moment of this week is having Drasco chicken. I really hope you sponsor me, guys, because you're absolutely good food. I had the signature sando, and bloody hell, the mama's beans are the best beans I ever had. Bloody good restaurant. I give it a 10 out of 10 plus 1, because they make really good iced tea, which I haven't tried, but I need to try the iced tea. It's really good. So that's the Ashe segment done, and now I'm going to be talking about Footy Banter. So let's talk about the Footy Banter. So Friday game, Brisbane and Richmond. Richmond got choked, as you can say. Brisbane are the better team. Joe Danaher, he had his misses, but still played well. Hugh McLaughlin is amazing. Zorko is talented. Jared Lyons, talented. And they all played their role really well, all the boys. And Reece Matheson, shout out to him, he's bloody good, that guy. Bloody talented footballer. And Mitch Robinson doing that massive tackle on Dustin Martin to shut him up. It was bloody good. And it was good to see Richmond lose that game. And they're not doing so well. They dipped down the ladder, and GWS have popped up, which I'll talk about the Sunday games in a little while. I mentioned about the Geelong game, so they won, which was great. How about the Bulldogs? Bloody hell. 111 points against Saints, and I feel so sorry about all the St Kilda supporters right now. 111 points. St Kilda are a bit of a joke at the moment. They can't even play proper footy. They need to drop Max King, Dan Butler and Bradley Hill. They need to get form back and play in the VFL for a couple of weeks, and then they can regain their form. Bulldogs are amazing. Tom Liberatore, Jack McRae, Marcus Bontempelli, Aaron Norton, bloody amazing players. It was sad to see Adam Treloar go down with a ankle injury, so he's going to be out for 2 months. So 8 weeks on the sidelines, which is sad to see. Not good for them, but Bulldogs on top. So they'll be playing on Friday, which is Bulldogs in Melbourne. And geez, I felt bad for the Melbourne supporters, but shout out to Dylan Sakamaro, because LA Crows won and Melbourne lost by 1 point, and they kind of got robbed because Ben Keys was definitely holding the ball, but who's to say about my opinion? I've got my own opinion about stuff, and everyone's entitled to their own opinion about games and stuff. The Carlton beating Hawthorn, that was an alright match, but Hawthorn are crap this year, honestly. Losing to North Melbourne is a bit of a joke, but Carlton got the win. And look at Essendon. Essendon are a lot of the bloody tipsters at the start of pre-season had Essendon 15th, 16th, and something. They're actually not that bad this year. They've tried to get back up there. They want to play finals in the next couple of years. A bit of yawns, tiring weather. But hopefully Essendon do well. They bloody thrash North Melbourne, and North Melbourne are crap anyway. Port and Collingwood, good game. Port got the win by 1 point, and Collingwood are feeling the dividends, and they need to sack Nathan Buckley because he's a crap manager. And yeah, that's what I'm going to say right now. Nathan Bucks, no, they need to sack him. And I've already said this in the first podcast. I don't really want to talk about Collingwood because they make me frustrated. And then Eagles, disappointing. You keep losing at home, like you only beat Hawthorn away, and then you just like lose for GWS, and you should have not lost that. It was so close, but then GWS ran away in the fourth quarter. Disappointing Eagles. Should all be disappointed, all the players. Adam Simpson needs to drop a couple of players. They're not performing well. Yeah. So I got my tips ready. I'm going Melbourne. Always picking Geelong. Eagles should beat Essendon. So we have to wait and see what happens in those games. Hopefully it will be all good for my boys and Eagles and Brisbane and Melbourne. So I got the last question of the potty, and then I'm just going to ramble on for a bit. So shout out to Felicity who put this question on. So the question is, what particular TV show or movie would I be in? Alright, well, I'd probably love to be in like a fantasy TV show or sci-fi or like romantic comedy. So probably like my shows I want to be in is probably like Game of Thrones, The Witcher. Wouldn't mind being a Viking. Even Friends, like honestly Friends I'll be good at. Seinfeld, classic. Stranger Things would be good. And then movies, definitely not a war movie, and definitely not like the TV shows, like the real like soap opera TV shows like Home and Away and Neighbours. They're crap. I'd probably be in like, not in Lord of the Rings because that's a bit much, but what movie? Jeez. Jeez, I'm tired. I'm trying to think what movie I'd be in. Not Mortal Kombat. Definitely Harry Potter. So I love Slytherin robes. They are the Alpha house. So I'd probably say Harry Potter or the Hunger Games. They'll kind of be like the movies I would want to be in. So yeah. About the 33-minute mark, so I'm going to talk about what I've been reading. So I've been reading a book called 12 it's like 12 Reasons, something like that. It's by Jordan P. Peterson. You should read it. He's a really good psychologist, and he talks about a lot about life and how you should live, and what you should do in your life and how to achieve it and everything like that. It's very good for like, makes you feel better in life and makes you feel good, and you should really read it. But yeah, sorry guys, but this is going to be a short podcast today, but you know, as long as you go past like the half an hour mark, you know, it should be alright. There's going to be some extra minutes coming probably in the next couple of potties because I want to have some special guests on, especially some of my close mates, so keep an eye out for that. So yeah, thank you guys for listening to the podcast, and I hope you have a lovely day and stay safe and be an absolute legend and ace. Love you guys.